Yes.
Yes, we are live. Live is what we are. Excellent. I'm told there are many, many fine people waiting for our unacceptable views.
Yes.
Coach Stephen, welcome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And a little bit more in tune with the unacceptable views because I've been here in the UK for 7 days now in a row. And
right, well, there's plenty going on that's unacceptable.
Oh, boy, yes. Well, the removal of the right to a trial by jury is...
There you go. See, an 800-year-old right enshrined by the Magna Carta.
Yes.
Stroke of a pen. Not only can you not have a jury trial if the likely outcome is 3 years in prison or less, neither can you appeal if you disagree with the original decision anymore.
I know. That's not justice, is it?
Wow. Anyway, today I shall be mostly wearing this house coat.
Yes. Well, I've dressed down. I've dressed down for you as well.
Well, rightly so too, because well, it's very unprofessional here. Very unprofessional indeed, including not being able to show up on time at 7 o'clock in the morning. There it is. Anyway, let's do some quick acknowledgements. We have a new member of the Meat Militia, the Pork Chops Press. There we go.
Meat Militia.
Yes. Carnivore Chris is here. Good to see you. The Feral Grandma. Of course, the Feral Grandma's here. Why weren't you first? Grandma? What's going on? The rest will stumble in shortly. I'm sure they will. Sure they will. Miami, Florida's in the house. Hello, Rick. How are you, mate? Jennifer's here. Robert's here. Coach Angela's here. Of course she is. I had a great chat with Coach Angela during the week, which will be showing up on the channel at some point. We had a nice discussion about things and stuff and things. It was good. Marion is here. Very good.
Someone's up. Oh, sorry, go on.
Go on. You go on. You go, Steve.
Carnivore Invictus. Well, it's important to you. They've said, how do you become an official member of the Meat Militia? How do you do it?
Well, tell you how you do it. If you look beside on the channel page where it says where you can normally click it to subscribe and click the bell icon, right beside that there's another button that says join. Well, it should be anyway. And then you click that button and it says, what's your credit card number? And then it takes your credit card details and you choose which level you want to be a member at. And then what happens is you're a member for a few months perhaps. And then what happens is YouTube unilaterally will unsubscribe you from my channel without telling you or me that they've done that. Even though you've given them your credit card details and said, I want you to charge this credit card every month to the tune of the cost of a cup of coffee or something. I want to be a member of this man's fine channel is what you've said. And they said, no, you don't. No, we're going to unsubscribe you. So not only do you need to join, but you need to keep an eye on the fact that you are still joined. Because what you might find out suddenly, randomly, is that you no longer are. Yes. Stephanie. Goodness gracious. I was 11 before I learned how to spell Bartholomew. But some of these names are a bit silly, aren't they?
Yes.
I thought Bartholomew was a silly name. Yes. Anyway, and a bunch of other bigots are all here. Many bigots. Many bigots. It's good. Yes. I'll have to report to Ted for being late by a minute or two, won't I?
Look at what the Feral Grandma's done. She's gifted 5 Professor Bart K Nutrition and Health Science memberships. Wow.
There you go. Lovely. Thank you, Grandma.
She's great.
We love us, Grandma.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, here's our first question. It's a very interesting question. It's a question from basic physics. We like basic physics, first principles. Is basic physics and first principles something that you feel you can talk to, Stephen?
I'd rather you do it because you are, I mean, that's what people are tuning in to. You're the guy. You're the guy for this. Yeah.
I'm the science, me. I'm safe and effective. You should trust the science. Never question the science.
Yes.
Is mass conserved in open systems? No.
I could have said that.
There you go. No, it isn't. In fact, mass is not conserved anywhere, really, to speak of. It's considered to be conserved. It's treated as being a conserved thing in most chemical equations, chemical stoichiometry, etc., where you have to account for all the atoms on one side of the equation and have the same number of atoms and or ions on the other side. It's accountancy. It's not actual reality. A lot of people think, like, for example, a lot of people think pH is the concentration of hydronium ions. They're the ones that know something about it. People that know nothing about it think it's the concentration of hydrogen ions, because it's not that. It's hydronium ions. But anyway, it's not the concentration of those either. They don't have a concentration because they're not an actual effective, shall we say, real thing. It's a mass accountancy technique. The pH value is actually a value of the activity of the ion, not its concentration. So there you go.
And a logarithmic scale as well, because the numbers are so small. If people want to know.
Logarithmic. I love it when you use dirty words like logarithmic, Stephen. It gets me damn hot. Matthew, Private Matthew.
It is important to know, because when you go from 7 to 8, it doesn't sound much, but when you say it's 10, 8 is 10 times greater than 7 because it's a logarithmic scale. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So when people say you can alkaline your body by having some veg,
no, you can't.
Well, you're talking like the stomach acid is possibly 1,000,000 times more acidic than your little bit of kale. So,
yeah. Now, Stephen, have you ever heard of Bart Key?
Bart Key, yeah, he's a very Australian influencer. Actually, yeah, mate, and he wears like a Hawaiian shirt, and he says, "I'm Bart Key, good days," and he swears a lot
because. Oh, I was going to say, because he's Australian, he probably says, "Wow, how the fuck are you?"
And he's got a very tanned teddy, very dark tan, actually, because it's so hot there. And yeah, he's a sort of original.
Yeah, I don't think there is anybody quite like him, to be honest.
No. He's very good with science. He's very good with science, actually. Yeah.
Well, it depends who you listen to, Stephen. Some people think he's an idiot.
Well,
fuck him. All right. Good afternoon from the UK. Is it not early evening?
I
suppose at this time of year.
10 past 6. 10 past 6. Yeah.
That would be afternoon at this time of the year. Middle of the day, just about. Anyway, afternoon from the UK. But Paris en route to the Rep Congo.
Oh, wow. That's a journey.
In Paris. En route to Congo, the Congo Bongo. Deepest, darkest Congo Bongo?
Yeah.
Or is that racist?
I think they do they not drink bongo in the Congo?
Congo Bongo Congo, I don't know. But how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Yes. Well, how much? I don't know.
Well, a woodchuck could not chuck much wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So that
Betty Butter.
fast.
Betty Butter, books and butter and all that. Yeah, anyway, right.
Yeah, good. The frogs are here.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonsoir, salut.
Je m'appelle Stephen.
Etienne, actually. Yeah. All right. So there was the question about becoming a member of the Meat Militia. I'll just hit the button that says join. It's all good. Hello, chaps. Hello,
Can I tell you, though, later on he admits that he already is one. Ha, ha, ha.
Right.
That's the standard, Vernon is excellent. A Wolverhampton Wanderers supporter. So we've got to feel sorry for him this year.
Yes. My nephew that's living and working here at the moment is an absolute diehard Gunners fan. So he was very upset the other day
Yeah, good.
Apparently
they're
the boys
boring.
did not show up for the final at all. Apparently they didn't show up.
Very
They got beat.
anti-football. Yeah, good.
So we've been teasing him about it all week. And we can tease him about it because the Shithouse Warriors, our rugby league team down here, is doing well for once. So anyway. Oh, Greg Douchebag. We love us some Greg Douchebag.
Oh,
He's
boy.
awesome. Yeah. He's got a lot of things going for him and several things going against him. First of all, he's Canadian.
So he's got one of those heads that goes like this when he talks.
All right.
Yeah, as per the South Park version of all Canadians who always have a flip top head that goes like this when they talk. And they say a boot. And nobody really knows what they're talking about.
A boot.
Yes. Greg also, well, Greg's an imbecile. I'm not even going to read the question just at this point. I'm going to talk about Greg for a minute and then we'll deal with the question.
Okay.
Greg is an absolute fuck monkey. He's an imbecile of the highest order. Literally, I could label his elbow and his asshole and teach him to read, and he won't still be able to tell the difference between which is which. He thinks he knows all about it, though. He's one of these calories in, calories out douchebags, buffheads. And he believes that because Lame Norton told him so. So that gives you another idea of his caliber. Lame Norton, who holds a PhD by virtue of having done a dissertation and some coursework. Lame Norton, who claims to be an expert in human nutrition, despite the fact that his dissertation was on rats. Go figure. I probably felt right at home, I would say. Anyway, both Lame Norton and Greg Douchebag Doucette are just, not only are they imbeciles, wastes of space, wastes of perfectly good oxygen, but neither one of them is remotely a decent human being, even. Douchebag is a pusher of the PEDs, or at least was. He's been convicted of having several $100 million worth in his home. He was a teacher. He was deregistered because of it. Being caught with PEDs in his house. Full supply. Yeah. Douchebag. Also, I can't stand listening to the boy for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah, he's hard to listen to.
Oh, my God, because of that ridiculous high-pitched micro testes type thing he's got going on there.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's read the question. Couldn't you say Greg Doucette's diet is indicated high protein and fiber approach from tubers and animal protein? No, he's an idiot. Nothing he does is indicated. He's an absolute fucksplat.
Well, fiber is contraindicated. Why would you have
contraindicated?
Many sugars that you can't digest? Why would you eat something you can't digest? Oh dear. So obvious, really. Protein's good. Animal protein's good. So he's sort of got a little bit. He's got a little bit going for him, but there you go.
Yeah. That, and he's obviously been successful at marketing because he's got a whole bunch of preteen fanboys that go around the world and crash bang anybody's channel that says anything bad about him. So there you go, boys. Come and smash all over my channel. Because I said your Lord and Savior is a douchebag. I made a video about Greg a few years ago now, a series of them as it turns out. But the first one I made, it was the highest number of views I'd had on a video in 24 hours on any of my channels at any time. Only long enough so that these idiots could write comments, stupid, ignorant comments about my video. Well, purportedly about my video, but not actually, because none of them actually watched my video. They watched Greg's video. They believed Greg about what Greg told them I'd said and made comments that that was a stupid thing for me to have said, despite the fact that that is not what I said. And if they'd actually watched my video, they'd have seen that I didn't say that and that Greg was lying to them. Yeah, there's a bit of that going on, isn't there? Lying to the public about things.
Yes, there seems to be quite a lot. Politicians seem to do it a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I was being polite.
Stephen, that's very English of you.
I am. I'm being English and polite briefly, I think. I'll warm up, though. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, let's warm up with this one. Tell us all about inflammation. What exactly is it? I don't have a flame in my body, I don't think. So why do we call it inflammation? What happens in my body? What makes my knees hurt 15 minutes after eating some carb?
Well, that's really easy. Yeah. I can understand why you say that, but if the word in Latin, inflammar, is means to set on fire. And when you have inflammation, what do you feel in your body? Heat. So it isn't literally saying, you've got flames coming on, but you feel heat, you feel redness, you feel swelling. So my hand is cold right now. If I had some inflammation, it would be hot. And the way we speak to each other is, well, I feel like I'm on fire. That's it. It's really that simple. That's the first bit. That's a really easy bit. So there's no flame, there is heat. And that's because you've got blood vessels dilating and you've got more blood flow, because if you've got an injury or something the body doesn't like, it will produce that effect, that there will be more blood to that area. Therefore, you will see the hemoglobin basically through your skin. You'll see that more blood, so you'll get a little bit red, and also you get other white blood cells. They flood the area, they release chemicals, so you get that swelling, which is the fluid and stuff like that. What was the other part? Oh, about the knees after carbs. Well, carbs will trigger insulin, and insulin is a pro-inflammatory compound, which will obviously elicit a little bit of an inflammatory cytokine storm. Yeah, we want to know that. IL-6, interleukin 6, that is, TNF alpha, and all that. By the way, Zoe Harcum and Isabella Cooper, I think her name is, did a brilliant thing about this very subject. Refined carbs also will produce arachidonic acid, which will convert to prostaglandins, and that will be more pain. So if it's 15 minutes, that's very fast to get that reaction. I'm not defending carbs. What I'm actually saying is there's probably underlying existing joint inflammation already there, and the carbs are just amplifying it and you're noticing it. So that's what's happening.
Excellent.
But we know that insulin triggers those sort of things.
Very good.
You can also get a leaky gut sort of response as well from the carbs. If you are eating bread, if your carbs are coming from bread, then you've got the wheat gluten in there, and that's going to stimulate zonulin, which is going to separate the tight junctions a little bit. It even actually opens up the blood-brain barrier, and you get a slight increase in insulin going to the blood, to the brain, and that's why you can also get a bit of a headache very quick. So there's a lot to it, but
it's almost like the human body is a vastly complex system of interacting facets that is very, very difficult to comprehend and simplify.
Yes. Well, we just tried to, but the reason I am an R is because
you did brilliantly.
Thank you. There is more. There's always more, isn't there? You could always go into more detail, but yeah.
You could. So have any of the basic laws of physics changed in the last 10 minutes?
Don't think so.
No. The answer is still no.
I see why you're saying that. Sorry.
Yeah. The other thing that doesn't change is a leopard once it's showed its spots.
Is this true?
Unless that leopard is a middle-aged woman, in which case the spots just get bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes a cougar.
Is this true? Can you read it out for people on
go on then. All right. Just found Saladino is now promoting steamed vegetables and baked potatoes. No joke.
It's not April the 1st, is it? Is that oh, blimey.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible, isn't it?
Paul Salad, I don't know anything. Paul Salad, I don't know who Bart K is. Paul Salad, I don't know dick about fuck.
I find that so hard to believe.
That boy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I find that so hard to believe. Do you not? I mean, that's.
It doesn't surprise me, no, Stephen.
No?
It doesn't.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, once someone starts the slide on carbs, fruit and honey, starts defending that nonsense, it's not long before the complex ones find their way in there. and the veggies and all of that.
Okay.
I reckon everyone who bought Saladino's book should write to him and say, I want my money back, pal.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense. That's really bad, isn't it?
And anyone that's ever watched any of his videos thinking that he might be scientifically literate in any way, I think they should probably, I don't know, start a class action suit.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it in the UK where he can't get a jury or the ability to appeal if he doesn't like the original decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got that in there.
Let's slip in a sort of unacceptable view then, because one thing that's really annoyed me this week is the cancer charity Macmillan. I don't know if you've seen this. They have publicly said that they will treat LGBTQ and ethnic minorities ahead of anyone else. And one thing you can say about cancer is cancer doesn't discriminate.
No.
But the cancer charity has decided to discriminate.
That it does. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny.
Oh, no.
My word. Reverse discrimination.
Yeah. Isn't it awful?
It is. It's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But apparently my view is unacceptable.
Right.
Apparently. Because I
You're
think
a bigot,
everybody,
Stephen.
yeah, treating people equally and maybe on merit, you know, the degree of the problem they've got. Well, that's too sensible. They don't like that.
But
your sexuality,
completely unreasonable.
Your sexuality puts you to the top of the. Oh boy! Right. Sorry.
Dear, oh dear! Seriously?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
I did. I hadn't heard that one though.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? It's absolutely awful.
It is. Yeah. Right. So that's those 5 gifted doingses. Thank you very much, Grandma. Yeah. Salad boy will soon be promoting salads. Is he not already pretty much, really? Vegetables, potatoes. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
Yeah. All right. If I need to add more fat, which of the 2 is a better, healthier, more beneficial, more goodera? Beef tallow or butter?
Well, the first most obvious answer is if you can't tolerate dairy, then tallow wins hands down. That's the first thing, because people seem to forget that butter is dairy. All right. But it might be the least offensive dairy. So you might be able to get away with it. So butter is 80% fat, isn't it, basically? And you've got protein and lactose and all the fat soluble vitamins. So butter is pretty good, and K2. But you can react. And the reason I mention the proteins is some people can react to the dairy proteins, you know, even in butter. So like the casein. So I would go with tallow personally. It's good for cooking, but I think it's quite tasty. Obviously, no dairy. It's got CLA in it, hasn't it? Conjugated linoleic acid, which is anti-inflammatory. So that's a benefit. But, you know, I'm not one of these sort of prescriptive people. If you like your steak with a blob of butter and that makes you stay carnivore because you really enjoy that meal, because that's one of the things you like, and you don't like it with tallow, we'll stick to the butter. So I do think there's a little bit about the taste as well, because you shouldn't be eating stuff that's going to put you away from carnivore. So, you know, that sort of very subjective part of it, I think people miss, because yes, you can go for what's the best in inverted commas because of, you know, what it gives you, but you know, it's 100% fat, 0 carbs, no protein. So tallow sort of should win, but I totally get why people love the butter. Totally understand it.
Yes. All right. Good. Love it.
What's your views, Bart, on that? Because I think that's quite an interesting question.
It is. I prefer butter to tallow taste-wise.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of tallow. I love lamb fat, though.
Oh, yes. And lard is
I
good.
don't know.
Lard is really good to cook with.
Bit of lard is good. Yeah, like a bit of lard, me. Yeah, they're all good things. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. In other unacceptable views, apparently in the sunny Shire of New Zealandville, they are now going to start teaching new entrant school children all about and teach those children according to the 4 principles of the founding document of this fine nation, known as Te Tiriti o Waitangi, the Treaty of Waitangi, which was a document signed by a representative sample of the various confederated chiefs of the local Maori tribes in 1740. And the other signatory was, at that time, His Majesty's representative, Governor Grey.
Right.
And there's all this stuff over here about how the so-called indigenous Maori people were badly treated by the nasty English invaders. And they're always banging on about the treaty principles. The principles of the treaty require us to basically reverse discriminate and to make one particular sector of our society here special in some way and above and beyond everybody else. There's only several problems with it. Number one, the treaty contained no principles. None at all. It made 3 explicit statements. And that's all it did. So not only were there no principles, there were explicit statements. And secondly, they're being taught 4. The treaty contains 3 statements, and the number of the counting is 3. To 3 shalt thou count. To 4 shalt thou not count, neither shalt thou count to 2, save by then now then continuest to 3. 5 is right out of it, really.
This is very Monty Python-esque. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, 1, 2, 5, 3. Oh yes, 3. Yeah. So there it is. And not one of the 3 explicit statements made in the Treaty of Waitangi says anything about the Māori people being in any way special or better or worthy of any special treatment of any kind. In fact, one of those 3 explicit statements says, in no uncertain terms, that the Māori people will be treated by His Majesty as equal to the British subjects. Equal to, not better than. No preferential treatment. They will be treated the same and be subject to the same laws of His Majesty. Not different ones. We have 2-tier policing here, by the way, as well.
We have it, yes.
and 2-tier sentencing. And you know, diversion if your skin is a certain color rather than pris and stuff.
Yep. Well, we've just
unacceptable.
Yes, we've just had a gentleman who is illegally here, and he's stopped his removal. And he was a convicted person that looked after little children in an inappropriate way in his country of origin. And when he came here, he was asked, as the questions asked, have you got any convictions? Have you ever been arrested? You know, blah, 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 you know, all the stuff they ask. And he said, no. And the judge actually said, oh, it's a mistake that anyone could make. He even admitted that he was asked those questions and said no. He actually spent time in prison and everything. And the judge actually acknowledged that he admitted that he read that question, and he didn't say anything other than, it's a simple, this is the judge, he just made a mistake. So
made a mistake about whether he'd ever been convicted of interfering with children.
Yeah, and been put in prison for it.
Right.
Do
you mean in this reality? Oh,
yeah, just forgot to, just forgot to mention it. Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Isn't it awful?
Dear, oh dear. It is. Absolutely.
See, these unacceptable views, I don't want us to lose viewers because it's very depressing. So we'll have to scatter them.
All right. Scattergun, unacceptable views. All right. Well, let's talk about something a bit more acceptable then. How do you know someone has histamine intolerance? Oh, look, back to the intolerance again. We can't be having intolerance. Everybody must be included, even those with histamine. What have you got against histamines, you bigot? Anyway, what are the specific symptoms to look for? And I assume it can be missed easily, just like whether or not you've had a conviction.
Well, you see, they can be missed easily. Well, one of the reasons they're missed easily is because sometimes they're delayed.
One of the symptoms is no symptoms.
Yeah, for
Does
a
that
bit.
sound familiar?
For a bit. Oh, yes.
But
So, yeah, so you can section it, I suppose, if you look down the body. So if you look at the head, you can have like brain fog or headaches or migraines, dizziness and anxiety can all be caused by histamine intolerance. If you then go down to the digestive system, you can have bloating, diarrhea, nausea, gut pain that you can't explain. Go to the heart now, cardiovascular, heart palpitations, drop in blood pressure. A big one is feeling hot. What can we do next? Skin. That's an obvious one, actually. Flushing, itchy skin, redness, eczema flares, that sort of thing. Oh, I forgot to say your nose as well. Part of your head is obviously a runny nose. The sneezing and congestion and all that sort of stuff. So they're the symptoms. But yes, sometimes it is a little bit delayed, so people don't put two and two together. But the more it happens, because it's a pattern, because humans are geared to, for pattern recognition, you think, every time I started my eyes running and my nose being terrible, I was out when there was newly cut grass or something. So then you can put two and two together and you can work out. But obviously in this way of eating, many people, it's aged and fermented foods, leftover food that, maybe you didn't cook straight away and you left it in the fridge for a long time. I mean, so many things can cause it. Alcohol can cause it. Spinach is a real culprit. Tomatoes, real culprit. Yeah. So lots of things can do it. And of course, when you look at inputs, or what you're putting into your face, and then what happens afterwards. So there's a thing called DAO, diamine oxidase, which is an enzyme that breaks down histamine. So you could have a deficiency of that enzyme. So, I think that's the whole gambit, top to bottom, trying to get top to bottom.
Love it. And then the other thing, when you're talking about things that are delayed, the other thing that's delayed is an echo. Okay. And fuck, the echo's good in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you see how you asked that question already?
Oh, come on.
Just once will be fine. Thanks, everybody.
We always get to them. Yeah.
We will get to your question, unless it's stupid. In which case,
we run out of time.
Still get to it. Or we run out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's so much unacceptable stuff going on that we need to get it in there, as it were.
No, that's what she said.
Yes, very good. She did indeed. She said many things. Mind? Yeah. Keep up the wall. Yes, we will. We will. I think not only will we keep the wall up, I think we need to start putting one or two people against that wall.
Yeah.
Just quietly. Although, that being said, rope is cheaper in unconnected news. Just as an observation. Rope is cheap.
Very dark. You get very dark now.
Well, the world is, isn't it? The world is a dark place these days. It's gone mad in the last 5 years in an exponential fashion.
Yes, yes, yes.
For instance, get this. Quickly rushed through the House of Parliament here in New Zealand Shire,
Mm-hmm.
quietly one night, late after hours, when no one was watching.
Mm-hmm.
They've put through a law whereby the police at any time can pull you over when you're driving without any reason for so doing, as in random stops, which they've been able to do for a while already anyway, so that's not the problem. But they can, not only can they now do that, but also additionally to that, they can require you to undergo a test for drug impairment on the roadside, which involves, get this, an invasive procedure administered by a non-medically qualified person.
This is scary.
In a way that may or may not be remotely safe for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The procedure I'm talking about involves the swabbing of the inside of your mouth with 3 swab sticks produced by a lab, owned, in part at least, by the bloke who was the chief medical officer to Jabson the fucking hard on during the COVID fuckery here in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So Christ knows what's been done to these swabs. Tinfoil hat stuff, I know, but what they are telling the New Zealand public is they have the right, absolutely, to require you to submit to them entering something external to your body into your body, which they've taken out of a packet which may have been treated in any way by anybody at any time prior to that.
Yes.
And if you refuse that procedure, number one, they can immediately disbar you from driving for 12 hours. Quite how they would police that, I don't know, other than hold you for 12 hours or take your keys away, in which case, how do you get your keys back, etc. Secondly, there's a relatively large fine, which, funnily enough, you don't get to go to a jury or get to contest, of course, and a number of points against your license, which is enough that it may well be that that could actually disqualify you from driving for a significant period of months. Because you said, no, thank you, I don't think I want to let you stick anything in me.
It's frightening.
Unacceptable.
That is very unacceptable. It's
totally
all
unacceptable. It's against the Declaration of Helsinki.
Mm-hmm.
It's against basic human rights, any reasonable place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's against the actual explicitly written New Zealand Human Bill of Rights. How is it that the governments of various countries around the world in the last 5 years have been able with such impunity to ride roughshod over basic human rights? I don't know how that's happened. Anyway, there you go. I'm just a bigot, though, with unacceptable views. So,
well,
you know, because, I mean, obviously the answer to me on all of that is, well, don't you care about public safety? Well, sure. Absolutely. I don't want people driving around being impaired by drugs any more than the next person. However, that doesn't override individual basic human rights and the right to body autonomy in terms of invasive medical procedures of any kind, especially administered at the roadside by some cop.
Yes, it's very... Yes.
I mean, if I get pulled over and I'm suspected of being impaired by drugs at that time or something, then arrest me. Let's go back to station, and then they can get a medically qualified person to come in and collect whatever sample they need in a fashion that's acceptable to me, as in a non-invasive fashion, if I so choose.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can I
There it
just
is.
change tack?
Go
Because
on then.
last week we were talking about Cyactive, and Jane was giving it a try,
oh yes,
and it's worked.
yes, lovely.
Her inflammation that was sort of hanging around and dogging her a bit. You know, the difference is incredible. I know you've got your link up there, but yeah, it's
Oh, did I? I haven't changed it
Yeah.
for yours again. Change that link up there. Don't get it from this ball pretending you're in New Zealand with unacceptable views. Get it from the young, handsome, and fully hairy-headed Stephen, Coach Stephen.
Talk about me.
But the way you do that is you go to https://onlinecoach.cerule.com. That's where you get your Cerule from. Cyactive is awesome. It really is. It's an anti-inflammatory that down-regulates both LOX and COX pathways. And it does that without the side effects that the pharmacological versions of such interventional drugs do. So it's good.
Yep, 2 a day she took, if people want to know. And yeah. Now, I always put a caveat in that it might have got better without them. You can't tell, but it's very coincidental that it got better very quickly once that was started. That's what I think, you know.
Well, before I started taking it, I was turned into a newt. I got better.
It's quite random. Right.
It's early in the morning.
It is, yes.
Right. Carnivore Invictus. Right. I've seen a compelling argument that we went to the moon and we couldn't show the world that what we found there. The moon, for one thing, is hollow. It rings like a bell. Let's move on.
Well, he didn't even know if he was a member or not.
Right. Well, exactly. Only hollow things ring. Have you tried going like that, Invictus? See what happens. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Question. All right.
Oh, hello.
I also have a question regard training. I suppose it means in regard to training. I work in night shifts, but still want to build some strength throughout training. 3 times whole body split could be okay? Question mark. I'm 43. Go on.
Are you? You're 43. No, it sounded like you were saying
that's what
I'm
he
43. Yes.
No, I'm not 43. Got it. I just remember 43. Just.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Night shift working is a devil with cortisol. That's the biggest problem. So this is me personally, I think I would not train immediately after a night shift because your cortisol is going to be high because you have changed your circadian rhythm. And I think it's very well studied that night shift workers have a lot of, propensity to having sort of these sort of issues. So I would definitely sleep before training wherever possible. If that works with your day, that would be the biggest thing I would implement. So that would be the first thing. The 3 times a week whole body split would be okay. I don't think that's too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I would do no more than 40 minutes personally.
Yes, agreed.
I think that is actually pretty good because you've got a good recovery time there. I'm definitely in a room with an exercise physiologist expert. So if you could actually train before your shift starts, if you have the energy, I think that might even be the best time. But, it's very individual. But keep the intensity up, but don't do any more volume than you actually need. Even at 43, you can still keep the intensity going.
Yeah, perfect. Because the thing about intensity is that intensity is relative to your 1 RM.
Yes.
Not mine or Stephen's or anybody else's.
Well, this is the thing, because when I worked in rehab, many years ago, I would always use this corny thing that if someone can't get out of a chair, then the exercise to get out of a chair is intense for them.
That's right.
So that's it. So if you get out of
Yeah.
the chair 10 times, that's an intense exercise for you.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Very good. And yes, whole body splits. Absolutely. Stick with the whole body splits until and unless you are an advanced hypertrophy or semi-professional athlete needing specifically to do splits. Splits are not a tool that the average Joe needs at all. Whole body split 3 to 4 times a week, never on consecutive days. 11 or 12 big compound exercises. You can hit your whole body in 40 minutes and be in and out of that gym in an hour, including shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Anyway, next question. Can you please explain why calcium supplements are bad? Okay. Bad. And how to get adequate calcium while carnivore. Everyone bangs on about 1,200 micrograms a day. As I have osteopenia. Thanks. All right. Patricia?
Right. Do people... Well, it's conflicting in the question. Why are they bad? Well, where has that been picked up on when apparently everyone bangs
according to
on
whom?
about...
On the basis of what? Who told you they're bad?
I mean, that
They might
amounts
be.
to... Yeah, I mean, that's quite a small amount. But I think, firstly, you can get calcium from this way of eating. You know, if you've got dairy, if you've got cheese and stuff like that. But, you know, sardines will do that. You know, fish will have calcium. But then you've got to make sure that you've got adequate K2 and D3 if you are taking calcium. So, yeah, I don't know if people do bang on about it being bad or good, really. It might be if you're taking lots of calcium and you're not on carnivore and you're not getting K2 and D3, maybe. But I don't know. I can't speak for other people. I'm not aware of this, to be honest.
No, it's not high in my consciousness either. I don't have 3 or 4 discussions every week about calcium, and I certainly don't think anyone's banging on about it. In terms of calcium intake, I think you can get it.
Yeah,
from your meat.
I think there was a study where it was isolated calcium supplementation, and they reckoned it increased cardiovascular events, but I would be very dubious about that.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah. And in terms of the osteopenia thing, that sounds like something we could talk about in the background on an individual basis, Patricia. We can try and get to the bottom of what's causing your osteopenia, because osteopenia is one of those entirely reversible situations for most people over a period of time if you do all the right things and don't do any of the wrong things. Trust me, I'm the science. I'm safe and effective. Don't ever question the science. And if I tell you to stick some swabs in your gob so I can swish them around and take samples, including your DNA, which I'm allowed to hold for as long as I want to. That's the other thing about that thing I was talking about before, you know. Not to mention the fact that I might have put any kind of thing, including, I don't know, RNA on those swabs before I stick them in your gob. Just open your mouth, love. Basically, take it all. Tell the judge, he won't care. Unacceptable here in New Zealand Shire. That's why we're seceding. We are really going to be the independent sovereign nation of Pimbatia soon, I think. If for no other reason, things like that, and also, well, the council. Don't get me started on the fucking council. Did you know, despite the fact that I said I wasn't going to bang on about the council, here we go.
Well, I knew you would. It's like when people say, with the greatest respect.
Yes, that means they're not going to have any for you at all.
Yes.
Exactly. Anyway, the fucking liberty of the council, they want to put up all the rates. Okay, well, what extra value are we going to get for this extra money? Oh, I see. We're going to get less value for more money.
Yes.
Oh, how could I have been so silly to imagine that more money meant you were going to provide more services?
Well, that brings me to another unacceptable view, which is you don't get Easter eggs in the UK anymore. You get greetings eggs. You're not allowed to have Easter, right? Which is ridiculous. you were just talking about less, getting less for more. So someone has been very brilliant and had Easter eggs from last year and weighed them, weighed them compared to Easter eggs for this year. And in the main, most of them have dropped their content by 16%.
Yes.
And also increased the price from like £6 to £7. So the differential is about price increase. So they're not even called Easter eggs anymore, and you're getting less and it's costing you more. So thank you, supermarkets. And then when you look at petrol, don't get me started on petrol. So petrol,
gasoline for those that are listening from somewhere from freedom states. Gasoline,
the government are blaming everybody about the prices increase in the at the pumps, but the government, 38% of the price of gasoline or petrol is going to the government.
That's before you put in VAT, though.
And if you add VAT, it's about 50%.
Exactly.
That's another 17.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not our fault, says the government. Not our fault that the gasoline prices, the petrol prices are going up. Well, we don't know what to do about it. It's out of our hands. No, it isn't. Knock off the excise tax. Take off the VAT.
Yep. In a stroke.
Crazy talk.
Yes.
Crazy talk from us, Stephen. That's why we're not in government.
Yeah.
Because we just don't understand how these things work.
Is this good for my health doing this? I don't know.
Wow. What else would you be doing, Stephen? Honestly.
Oh, that's true. Staring into space. Staring into space. I've got a nice joke for you to end with.
Go on
in
then.
a minute.
Let's have it.
Oh, you want it now?
now?
Okay. All right.
Go
Okay. It. Some people might be offended by it, but there you go. Right. So this bank robber goes into a bank and he's got a mask on, and he goes over and he gets his gun out and he threatens everybody. And just as he's getting the money, his mask slips a little bit, and then he quickly puts it back on. And he says to the first bank teller, "Did you see that?" And she goes, "Yes." So he shoots her. And he goes to the next bank teller, and he says to him, he says, "Did you see that?" And he goes, "Yes." So he shoots him. Then he goes to the third one, this bloke here at the end, and he says, "Did you see that?" And he went, "No, but my wife did."
Boom, boom. Yeah, good.
Sorry.
Good.
Right.
Don't be sorry. Never apologize, never explain. Right. What, in both of your opinions, is the biggest factor of weight gain? Insulin? Randall cycle?
Eating too many carbs, I think. I mean,
it's calories, isn't it? Too many calories.
You can't answer that question like that, can you, really? Because it's so individual. Because if someone is a trained athlete, they're unlikely to put on any weight. But if they have 6 weeks off, say, for instance, and they start eating loads of carbohydrates, they're going to put on weight. Well, what causes that? Well, it's the raised insulin or eliciting the Randall cycle. So they're not individual things.
Indeed.
That's the thing. So,
although you could claim with some impunity, at least, that the single biggest cause of raised insulin is an activated Randall cycle. So if it's of those two factors, and I want to put them in a hierarchy, are you listening, Ben Bickman? Pay attention, son. Listen. Of the two factors, insulin and the Randall cycle, the one of those that exerts control over the other one is the Randall cycle. It's the controller. Insulin is the affected party, not the controller. Ben Bickman.
It's not the dictator, definitely not.
That's right.
It signals, it doesn't dictate.
Yeah, that's right. We had a dictator here not long ago, by which I mean a potato that looked like a dick.
Where is Ted, by the way, talking of that?
Ted, look, he's face down on the desk as usual. Hello, good morning, Stephen. I'm here. I've just been twiddling the knobs. He says he's just been twiddling the knobs. Well, you go and twiddle the knobs, Ted. Good boy. Good boy.
But it's too reductive as a question, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
do better.
Because what makes the Randall cycle, you know, what instigates the Randall cycle, what instigates the cell locking up, you know, so you could answer that forever, really, couldn't you?
Which come first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Well,
Because none of that would happen if you didn't eat anything. So
yeah.
you've got to have some inputs to make it happen in the first place.
Apparently, I did a hell of a job interpreting that question. Which question? Don't know.
Well, that
anyway,
question.
thank you.
That question.
Well, that was typed some time ago, of course. So who knows? Yeah.
And you never changed the ticker. It's not for the Cyril thing, by the way. It's still you.
I can change that right now if you like. There we
Well,
go.
we've got like 5 minutes. It would be nice to do that just for the last 5 minutes.
All right, God. All right. Let me do that for you now. Let me do that.
Especially as an actual success story.
Online coach.
Oh, you don't have it pre-written. Sorry, Bart. I thought you probably had it all stored and all efficient.
Me? Efficient? Are you out of your tits? Goodness gracious. There you go. Look at that. Yeah.
That's very
Onlinecoach.Cyril.com.
Thank you.
That's where you get it. Cyril's great stuff. Look, Cyril will change your life. It really will. And I'm not just saying that because it changed my life and the lovely Jane's, Stephen's lovely wife, and my dear mum, my 80-year-old mum, changed her life. And a number of others.
Cool.
My lovely sister, who's now living and working here on the farm. And I say living and working on a farm, she is actually back to work.
That's good.
Like 2 months after a major stroke. Like as in half her brain.
Incredible, isn't it? That's incredible.
And I'm not saying she's unaffected. Of course she's affected. It was a very, very serious medical event that occurred. But she's vastly, vastly better than we were told to expect or that we felt entitled to. There was question as to whether she would walk again or have any use of the left-hand side of her body.
It's amazing.
She has some. It's incredible. And I'm not saying that's down to Cyril, because I'm not allowed to. It's probably down to her dogged, bloody, you know, she's my sister, for God's sake. She survived me. So a stroke has got no hope. She's like, "Pa, I survived my brother." Me, she, me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Apparently, Jojo is a 65-year-old female, by the way. Are you the osteopenia lady?
That's
Could be. Right. So presumably that's a factor in terms of women of a certain age, shall we say? My alarm says I should wake up. Shut up, alarm.
It's 8 o'clock in New Zealand.
It's 8 o'clock a.m.
In the morning.
Yeah. Yes. A.m. in the morning, yes.
Yeah. 0800 hours.
That's it. Yes. Oh, wait, what does the O stand for? Oh, my God, why are we awake? What's going on here?
You know why I going back to Paul Saladino, one thing I do think you should do is always put a potato by your bed just to get our potato clock.
I see what you did there.
Sorry. Yes.
Don't be sorry. Never explain.
Okay.
Never apologize. It's very royal to never explain or apologize.
Okay.
And just take the attitude that you're better than everybody else. Except gay people, lesbians, queers, and whatever else all that stuff stands for. You're not better than those people. They're better than you, Stephen.
Well, yeah.
And if you ever get cancer, well, it's your own fault for being middle class, white and male.
Absolutely.
Don't do those things and you'll be all right. Yeah. Right. Next question. How do I know if I get an appropriate insulin signaling or raising on a 1 to 2 meal a day on carnivore? Do we just wait for symptoms to happen? I'm concerned about proper thyroid function.
Oh, yeah.
People spend a lot of time being concerned about things, don't they?
Yeah. Well, where's that question come from, I wonder?
Exactly.
Because...
What leads you to have this concern or this fear of things?
I mean, it's true that if we know your level of insulin, right? Sorry, I'd go back. So if you look at your blood glucose level and it's normal, okay, we don't know how much insulin was required to give you that normal reading. So I'll go with that. Now, from doing 10 years in offering private blood testing, I can tell you that when you do fasting insulin, you can predict there's an ongoing problem about 5 years at least before the blood glucose tells you there's a problem, because the background insulin start to increase. So maybe that's where you're going with that. And that is true. So the easiest way to do it is every 6 months, get a fasted insulin, C-peptide, fasted blood glucose set of labs, if you really want to see that. But that's not great really, because it's still a snapshot in time. It's very variant, because that week you might have eaten better than you do the next week. So what we really need, if you're really that bothered about insulin, is a continual insulin monitor.
Who makes one of those?
They don't exist. And it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon.
No.
I've actually got a continual ketone monitor to try, which will be interesting. But
nice.
I would gladly swap that for a continual insulin monitor, because I think it's quite good data. But then you've done that leap about the proper thyroid function. And again, this could be down to the normative ranges of thyroid being incorrect. So I was very lucky to speak to Dr. David Unwin, who's done lots of research, and he's methodical with his data. And he's noticed in the low carb community and keto community that TSH tends to run lower. So that could be flagged by somebody that doesn't understand the context of this way of eating. And definitely T3 is lower, because if you're not eating carbohydrates, you don't need T3 to move pyruvate across the mitochondrial membrane, the TIMS and TOMS transporter and all that. So we need less T3. But on a blood panel, it's going to flag that your T3 is low. No, it's not. It's appropriate. It's not pathological. It's physiological. We need less of it, and we do really well. So then you get into clinical presentation and how you feel. So
affect,
yeah. So are you having unexplained weight gain or unexplained weight loss? Are you continually hot? Are you continually cold? There's many things that indicate you might have a thyroid problem. So yes, there's a lot to it. And obviously, there is a little bit of insulin having an effect on T3 and all that. But in the end, it's got to be down to some symptoms. So I'm not criticizing the question at all. I'm just saying that maybe the question should be, I have XYZ happening. Could this be insulin? Could it be thyroid? That sort of thing. And then it's better to do that rather than try and reverse engineer why you've asked the question. But to treat it with respect, it'd be great if we could get continual insulin monitors, because I genuinely feel that would be more valuable than continual glucose monitor.
Yeah, I agree with all of those comments. Good. Entirely. Very well done.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, look, people, the thing to keep your eye on is your affect. Sod your bloody labs. If you've got a problem, go and get some labs to try and identify, or confirm or refute a differential diagnosis or proposed diagnosis, for sure. Getting labs for the sake of getting labs will only lead you up the garden path, because those labs will be interpreted by an entirely incompetent body of individuals who do not understand that carnivore eating folks have different normative values, and they're quite indicated as such, like an elevated A1C, like a higher fasting blood glucose, like various thyroid function panels and etc., and insulin markers and God knows what else. We're a whole new species. Well, maybe an old one. We were here first with this crazy fad diet that we're doing that hasn't been done for 5.5 million years. Okay. Have proteinuria. Okay. Told to cut down on meat and eat fruit, fiber, and veg. Do you agree? Absolutely not.
No,
However,
that's terrible. Sorry, go on.
terrible advice. However, we do need to know what the reason for the proteinuria is. Maybe we should talk about that. Because, again, we need to deal with the underlying cause, not react to the fucking symptomology, and certainly not in a way that's entirely inappropriate for that symptomology anyway. I think.
Yeah, yes. I'd be interested to know what the diet is, because protein in the urine, just for people who are not sure what that means, although it does sort of say it in the words there. Protein doesn't, see, this is reductive thinking, right? There's protein in the urine, so therefore eat less protein, right? So that's not that much of a leap. Yeah, but it's not right at all. Protein doesn't cause kidney damage either, but there is something up. There is the irony of the fruit, fiber, and veg thing is you will elevate insulin because you're eating carbs, and the biggest driver of kidney disease is diabetic complications.
Yes,
which is eating too many carbohydrates.
Yes, wash your mouth out, Stephen.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I know, crazy talk.
And so, you've got whoever is advising you has got it all completely wrong. So I don't agree with it whatsoever. But yes, you've got to get to what's causing it. So I'd be interested to know what you're eating. But if you are eating, more carbs, if you're not on carnivore, basically, I would definitely start cutting the carbohydrates down and see if that improves things. Also, is it a lab test that said it, or are you just looking at your urine and saying, oh, that's a bit foamy? Because one of the things is, if you are strict carnivore, what happens is there's much less water retention. So your urine is more concentrated. The more concentration of urine that you get will then increase velocity as it leaves you. And you could get foam purely because it's more concentrated and it's coming out quicker. That is one of the things. So then if you notice it, then you can get a lab report to see if it is actually protein, or you can do, I've got one here actually, you can do these urine test strips. So I don't have an affiliate link for that, but they're like £10 and you get 100 strips, and you wee on it, and it will tell you what, I would tell you ever such a lot, but basically you will be looking for protein. So there's different things it tells you, and you just make sure you look at that one, and you could test it yourself. So but I would do like 3 tests throughout the day, 7 days a week for a couple of weeks to make sure it's nice and consistent, and you will see for yourself if you've actually got a problem, or whether you're just looking at your urine and thinking, well, I've read it's foamy. It means you've got lots of protein in there, because that isn't always true. And anyway.
Very good. Very good indeed.
Thank you very much. I'm getting near the end. I've got to go in a minute.
Have you? All right then.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We've all got lives, haven't we?
Yeah. And I need to talk to you for about 5 minutes privately.
Oh, okay.
In a good way, about a good thing. Yeah.
Report after class. Yes. All right. Solid Boy's never heard of the Randall cycle, clearly. Good. Well done, Solid Boy. Can tattoos be an issue? Yes, absolutely. Ink being inserted under the dermis or into the dermis absolutely ends up invading your system in all sorts of ways, including through the lymph. And there's all sorts of effects, both direct and sort of more quantum as well, that may be a problem. Yes, tattoos can be a real problem for your health long term. A lot of people have them and have them for many, many years and don't have a problem, sure, but it's a potentiality that you might. There are problems with tattoos. It's unlikely to be because there's a bit of soy in the ink, though, I think.
I think you missed a super chat that asked a question about
chat.
An LDL thing, the liver.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Look at that. Hey? Does the liver produce any amount of LDL?
Yes.
Well, yes, it does.
About 80%.
Thank you for the super chat. Yes, most of it is made by the liver. Yeah. Thank you for the Canadian loonies. We like those.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose technically it's VLDL, and then that is broken down into LDL. So
Sure. Yeah. It looks like we missed quite a few questions. We jumped somehow. Anyway, we've got to leave people wanting more, unfortunately, because Stephen needs to talk to me and Stephen needs to go. So we need to close off, unfortunately, at this stage this week. Join us next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for some more unacceptable views from two grumpy old middle-aged men, one of whom's bald and the other one who's overly polite about everything.
61.
My
62
goodness.
in May. 62. Oh, dear. I look around here. This used to all be fields, Bart. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
You know, you're not polite, so I'm polite. So in the middle, we're not polite.
That's right. That's what it is. All right. Okay. Don't take drugs and drive, anybody. That's a bad plan. Don't drink and drive. Do stand up for your human rights, though.
Yes.
Don't let anybody ride roughshod over those. And both in New Zealand Shire and in the UK, we have elections coming up. In the UK, you'll have an opportunity to vote for your councils. Well, that's the plan, that you'll be able to have a vote for your councils. Here in New Zealand, we're having a general election later in the year in November. So get out there and vote, basically. But in New Zealand, there's no one you can vote for, so I might have to stand myself. Watch the space, see what happens. That could be a laugh, couldn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, be good. Be good to each other, you bigots. See you next time. Ciao for now.
Bigots.